Hi, and welcome to a little video about. I'm going to be doing a series of these videos. My goal is I think journalism is a skill, and with skills, really the best way to learn them is not like I teach philosophy and I also teach journalism, and so with philosophy, you know, it's about theory, it's about ideas, it's about discussing things, and you can I can tell you about Kant and his theories, things like that, and you can read it and you can learn it that way, right? Whereas with journalism, it is a skill, which means like woodworking. My father does woodworking, it's one of his hobbies, and he really started getting into it more when I was probably in high school, so it's been a long time ago. I won't say how long ago, 25 years ago or so. Maybe junior high, he started kind of getting more into it. I mean, he'd always been into that. And I would say some of the stuff he did when I was that age, he made a lot of things. And I'd say some of it is okay and some of it's better. But what I found was that, now when he makes stuff, he doesn't make nearly as much stuff because, he just doesn't do as much. It's not like he's making end tables all the time or something. But when he does woodworking, he usually does a very high quality because over the years, he refined his skills. He learned how to polish things better. He learned how to cut things better. He learned how to put things together. And so the same thing, it's one of those things like the way you become better at woodworking is to do woodworking. You can't just go out and read more books and you can't just go out and do more. You have to continually do it. As a matter of fact, as a person who has worked, I for a while, after I got out of journalism school, I worked for a while as a reporter, and then I went and worked for my brother doing property management. And one of the things, we were rehabbing this building, and I was working on that, kind of overseeing it. But there were occasionally some things like changing all the locks on doors, like that I just ended up doing, or fixing a toilet, things like that were just, things I did. And the first couple of times I did it, absolutely horrible at it. I mean, I have absolutely no ability to turn a screwdriver or to figure out how to put it, this greatly confounds me, right? I mean, I am a philosophy major. I had a roommate tell me once that, he's like, "You're smart, you just lack all street smarts." Thanks. I don't know if that's good or bad. Anyway, and so what happens is that, but what happens is the first time you change and take a door lock off, it's like completely confusing to me. And by the time I did about 10 of these, I can, now I actually just over the weekend, I ended up changing door locks on a couple of doors. It took me like 5 minutes. It didn't take me any time at all. And so, that's just sort of, the way that works. So anyway, the point though is that, it's one of those things, like it's a skill. It's something you have to do over and over again. And I think journalism is the same way. I can sit here and I can lecture to you and tell you what journalism is and tell you what it is and tell you what it is. But the best way for you to become a better writer, the best way for you to learn how to go out and talk to people, the best way for you to go out and learn about information and to anticipate questions and to, kind of judge people, whether they're lying to you or if they're being deceptive or if there's something more that you need to ask about. The best way to do it is to go do it, right? And so to a large degree, what this course is it's a chance for you to go out and do these things while I'm sitting here telling you, okay, this is what you should do. This is what you should do. It's a chance for us to work in that regard. And so what happens is these videos are supposed to be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. And my goal is to basically talk to you about, issues of journalism, issues of what's going on, like the first week or the second week of the class. Right now, what I'm kind of giving you, I'm a little bit behind, but is leads. The first few weeks are about lead writing, which is about how to write a really good lead for a story, how to write something that is, how to write a story that is, how to grab people's attention, how to bring them into the story, how to, do that. And so that's what we call the lead. It's the first few sentences or first paragraph or the first few paragraphs of a story. And it's how you lead off your story. And that is a skill that has to be acquired. And so, I'm going to talk about those. And then, while you're doing that, you're going to be practicing lead writing. You're going to be looking at information and having to write leads from the book, from some of the homework. You're going to be working on your own stories and writing them. And so you're actually using this video as a chance to kind of learn about it, but you're also, a big part of what you should be doing, a big part of your focus should be on doing that homework, because that's the best way for you to learn how to write, to become a better writer, is just to focus on little aspects of writing, to focus on little aspects of things, and just, continually hone those things. Now, as far as it goes, these videos will each be, like I said, 5 to 10 minutes. And kind of just to give you a little bit of a, this is kind of a hybrid course. You're supposed to meet with me for 20 hours. And I've talked about that when we met the first time. And then the idea is, in a traditional classroom, we'd meet about 45 hours. Now, in this class, we're going to meet about 20 hours individually. And then you have to get 25 hours of online instruction. Okay. Now, for you guys, you're probably going, okay, what's that mean? Well, for me, I'm more conscientious of the fact that I need to come up with, stuff that we typically would have done in the classroom and do this. And so one of the ways is to have 5 to 10 minute videos. I'll have 4 or 5 of those. So I'll have about an hour's worth of material in little segments. And the idea is you watch one of these videos a day, you spend about 10 minutes watching it, and then the next day you spend 10 minutes. And I thought about emailing these out separately, but probably what I'll do is I'll put them all in there, and then you kind of just watch them as you go. But the point is that we're as we make these videos, they're each 5 to 10 minutes. You watch these videos, and that's kind of providing and making up for what we would have done in the classroom. The other thing we typically would have done in the classroom is we would have gone through some of these problems in the book in that format. Instead, you're going to do those on your own, and then typically we'd go over the style book quizzes, take a news quiz, things like that. These lectures, as well as those aspects, would probably have taken hour and a half, 2 hours each week. And so if you take that's 30 hours. You have 20 hours. You have to meet with me. That's 50 hours. That's more than what in 16 weeks, 3 hours a week. That's 48 hours with a few weeks off for like Thanksgiving, things like that. Typically, in the course of the semester, we'd meet 45 hours, meaning, this is what is making up for that. Just sort of to give you a little bit of an overview. It's a little bit of telling you how the soup is made, I suppose, when you don't necessarily care. But, I'm the teacher. I can talk about whatever I want. Anyway, so I guess that's about all I have on that point. But these will be in there. I'll also go over style book quizzes and videos and that kind of thing. So this is the first one. It's in the 8-minute range, according to what I can see. That this flap is a little bit over the timer. So I think we're at time. And the next one will be about writing leads. So